the view never changes because there's always a war. There's always the ratings to think about. There's always the audience and who can, shimmy and screw the other person out of that audience and jump in. So should we go from just for a minute from 1931 to 2025 and see that the view never changes, baby? Have you heard that apparently the WWE is see Uncle Dave is trying to phrase this or present this as, oh, WWE's really worried about AEW. They're going all out. They're trying to counter program them. They're putting the big shows against him. I take the viewpoint that I think that the WWE, now that they have conquered the world and they're worth $747 billion and 16 cents, I think that they have said now's the time that we can demolish this little motherfucker. We'll just wipe our fucking shoes on him. He's lost talent. He's lost viewers. He's got really the same base, and his TV show creatively is a mess with many people not over or floundering around. So let's just fucking finish it off. And Brian, I don't even know if that's an unpopular viewpoint that I have, or if more people are starting to recognize it, that now they're just not even making any bones about it. We're in a tank and he's in a wheelbarrow, and we're just going to shovel him over.
WWE wants to own the entire industry, and it's not just wrestling, it's everything. It's everything from podcasts to toys to everything. They want to own it all. And if they don't own it, you will be some sort of subservient company reliant on them. Like TNA. And, Tony Khan's biggest threat to WWE is simply money. That he could throw money, he could raise the pay scale, and potentially maybe one of these guys that we have as a star will take him up on his offer. But they're going to do everything they can to stop him. They're going to run against him. They're going to try to make it so he can never get another television deal again. So that even if you don't want WWE TV, they're like, oh, well, here's TNA. Here's AAA. Get some Latino viewers.
Here's NXT.
They are dead set against AEW, and they're going to look to kill AEW, and this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. It's a little more overt now than even when Vince was there, which is saying something, but it's not necessarily about Tony. They would do it to anyone who was number 2 right now, but Tony specifically, I don't think we're talking out of school saying they don't take Tony seriously. Whether you think they should or shouldn't, they don't. And they also enjoy fucking with AEW. Some of the wrestlers do, but the people who are running things do.
You mentioned it was even more so than when Vince was there, but Vince not only was doing things the old-fashioned way when he would do them, and I don't think that he took AEW that seriously because he never took any other company really seriously except WCW at that time. But at the same time, his people were saying, well, we got to watch the pay scale. But now that there are shark Hollywood agents and big-time wheeler, dealer, and deal maker people involved, and staffs of them, and major corporate executives, even if only one of them was only a tenth as predatory as Vince, there's 3 times as many now of them. So they know all the ways to just fucking bam, bam. And they've got all these deals that they're making and their guarantees that they're getting. And at the same time, they can just elbow this son of a bitch out of the fucking elevator before the doors close. And it's all their group. And we'll talk about a couple of different ways they're doing it, but taking it, I don't know if it's in order, but at least one at a time. So now the pay-per-views on September 20th are there's dueling pay-per-views. I'm getting my 2 teeth pulled on September 22nd. I don't know which I'm looking forward to least over that weekend is having to watch 2 of their pay-per-views at the same time or getting 2 teeth pulled. But This was a recent addition, wasn't it, to the WWE calendar against their September 20th gimmick they're doing?
Yeah. They found out AEW had All Out, and they waited until the very last minute they could, and then they, surprise, announced a premium live event direct head to head up against it. Yeah. And now that there's no
Did
more
they?
pay per view, they don't have to worry about like, pay per view or the cable company saying you can't do this. They could fucking stream anytime they want.
Well, that's the thing is, did they have a big premium live event announced for September already and they changed the date, or did they just, September was open?
I believe it
You
was
know that
open.
because I wouldn't.
I believe it was open, but I'm not certain. But I believe that was the case.
So they, so they just held it. Yeah, okay. But again, the all in, it's all out this time in September. That's one of Tony's little pride and joys. And, so they're fucking with that. But they're also talking about now, from what I understand, I hear through the grapevine, the idea that they're going to move the Saturday night's main event December date, and which theoretically then would become John Cena's retirement match, to December 27th up against, what do they call, World's End, which it may be. Every year I feel they're going to be prophetic. But if they can work it out with NBC, apparently they're trying to do Cena's retirement against their World's End pay-per-view, and Cena's retirement would be on network television.
I'll save my thoughts or questions about the idea of doing that for after we talk about AEW. But yeah, they're doing that to fuck with AEW, if that happens.
And I mean, that's going to cost them, AEW being them, too many pronouns, pal. That's going to cost them some viewers, definitely off of their couple of their biggest shows of the year, while at the same time, will you be able to tell if, an extra 150 or 200,000 people didn't tune into Cena's retirement on NBC Christmas week when it'll probably do 2 million fucking people? It's going to be negligible, if anything.
And Tony's pay-per-views are still out there. They're not on Max. You can get them from HBO, you can get them from Amazon or this place or that place. He hasn't sold those rights. WWE just sold their premium live event rights, separate from everything. I mean, everything is for sale to a different party. It's incredible. But Tony has everything. Everything's in the Warner Brothers Discovery basket. There's no Ring of Honor deal. Dark and Elevation left YouTube. Not that they were great or anything, but it was just programming that one day was gone. And you have these premium live events that apparently they get really good pay-per-view numbers. And that's people having to buy the pay-per-view because there's no $9.99 option.
Well, it's speaking of which, we're going to have to get together, you and me, off the air for you to tell me how the fuck I'm going to watch the AEW pay-per-views, since there's no pay-per-view channel on my cable anymore. And I have to find out who is operating this thing or carrying this thing. And that's, again, the WWE, we mentioned they're doing the different streaming deals, etc. And the news we talked about on the last show we did, where is it Paramount has paid $7 billion for UFC, for the streaming of the shows and etc. So I saw again, somebody just added up for the wrestling without UFC, if you're a fan of both, but just for the wrestling, what will it cost you to buy whatever services you need to either buy the service, buy the show itself, or buy the service that you need to get the thing that the show is on? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's $100 a month just right now with what they've announced to get everything that the WWE has. And if the UFC is doing something else with somebody else, then if you wanted both, you're closing in on, fucking $2,000 a fucking year or whatever.
Yeah, and they're saying that people with the ESPN deal, like we talked about last time, that potentially if you have cable, you may eventually by the end of the year be able to get it once the cable operators negotiate with ABC and Disney. But if you don't have cable, and the whole thing is that people don't have cable, people are getting rid of cable, then you have to pay $30 a month. So it's going to be very interesting how this works.
Well, yeah, then that's part of the $100 is that you might get the thing for free if you have the other thing, but you have to pay for the other thing. So they're taking that into account.
Yeah, then you'd have to have the other thing, and people are dropping cable. So people are just going to have to get the $30 thing. Us cable people, we have a good deal.
And it's this, that, or the other thing. And in the meantime, finally in the financial news, now they're saying the WWE is plotting to help TNA get on television. Have you heard about this, Brian? Have you read about this? And put them on TV in opposition to AEW. And
does that surprise you? Does that surprise you in any way?
Well, no. And yet you've been calling this all along. But now it's, again, it's an example of, well, here's this separate entity that we don't own and actually control, kind of, but they are our little buddy and they will do whatever we want. And so we ain't gonna fuck with them. So it's a block against the antitrust monopoly accusations. And it's also another product that can independently, with a little nudge in the ribs, be pitched by more professional people and people that have a track record in this major entertainment landscape instead of Tony Khan trying to talk Jack Warner into putting Ring of Honor on their network when their viewers on the existing programs are drooping.
Tony needs to fight back. What he should do right now is put together a 2-hour highlight reel of the Vince Russo years and send it to every television executive and say, this is TNA. Watch this. Make them answer for this. No, they're going to do everything they can to drive Tony out of business and to own the entirety of the professional wrestling space. And there are rumors going around about a TNA sale. I don't know how true they are. I only saw a couple things, but even the names being rumored are people tied in with TKO and people who are working with TKO. They want it all under their umbrella. And they're going to get a Japanese company one of these days. And I've said it before. I want Tony Khan needs to fight back. I want him to fight back for the health of wrestling. Someone needs to fight back. And then I want to root for the guy, and then I watch his show, and I'm like, man, this fucking sucks.
And then we'd have this.
Yeah, like the booking is horrible. Don't tell me, oh, we do have stories. If the stories suck, your stories suck. But the booking's horrible. It's like, fuck, how's he going to fight back? But he needs to. And, it's not going to stop with Tony. It's not going to stop with Poland. It's not going to stop. They're going to keep going. No, WWE wants to take over every aspect of everything. If there is a media deal to be had for professional wrestling, the agents who run WWE want that deal. And they want all that money. And they want to keep building up the stock value. So eventually, they can convince some friendly Saudi to buy it. But this is not going to change, and Tony Khan needs to fight back. I just don't know how he will. And
I don't know how.
And I think I hate to use the word arrogant, but I think he's arrogant enough to think that he has a handle on it. And then people on the outside who talk to people in that company or just are paying attention realize, no, you don't. You don't have the team. You don't have the team in terms of talent. You don't have the team in terms of executives. And it's going to be interesting how this plays out. But at some point, and I'm not going to go through it all, but Brandon Thurston put up a series of tweets looking at the MLW lawsuit and what is and isn't a monopoly right now, or an attempt to have a monopoly. But we're looking at WWE trying to set themselves up for a monopoly. But hey, you can't say that because the AWA is in Minnesota, so they'll have TNA.
And here's the thing. Tony's like his baby faces. He's kind of ineffectual and nobody thinks that he can whip anybody.
Yeah.
He can't fight this. Look at the way he comes off to big business typhoons. And, I'm sorry, but it's a whole nother world. And, that's the thing is again, I don't say arrogant because that makes him sound like some kind of
And I don't mean it that way.
Smooth operator.
Yeah, I
but
think
it's
you
the
know what
same.
I mean.
More like Clueless. Like, well, they can't do that to me. I've got a lot of money. Well, they just did it to you because they got even more money now.
Because he's going to be fucking heartbroken when Warner Brothers Discovery, or whoever owns it at that point in time, says we're not renewing you. Where's he going to go? He's not going to Disney. They got WWE. He's not going to Fox. He's not going to... Fox apparently already said no. They're not going to CW. They're not going to NBC Universal, who owns USA Network. They're not going to Netflix or, as of this moment, Peacock, you wouldn't think. And again, that's part of NBC Universal. YouTube's talking to WWE. There's something that's going to go down. It'll probably be the catalog, but we'll see. But there's going to be nowhere to turn.
Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Oh, you know where that you can turn and hide?
Nowhere. Tell me, please.
Brian, I'll tell you where you can turn and hide from all of this stress and discomfort and achy paininess that you have, and the way you can unwind. Cornbread hemp CBD gummies.
Oh yeah,
that's the way you can. Yeah, you can turn and hide there. Just burrow down into one of these things, because if you want a natural way to relieve the aches and discomfort that comes with living a life, if you want to de-stress and maintain not only your physical but your mental wellness, a peace of mind, Brian. All I want is to have my peace of mind. You can sit down with a CBD gummy, courtesy of Cornbread Hemp, and you can put Boston on the headphones. And boy, howdy, it'll take you back to the days when life was worth living.
You hear singing like that, you wish England won in Boston.
Well, hey, don't mess with my tea party. Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, whether it's discomfort, just needing a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, the roots. No, I'm saying it's the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD. I thought the best part of the plant would be the roots. That's where all the life comes from. It grows out. Well, you eat a lot of beetroot, don't you, to keep regular?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I don't need a lot of beetroot. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're supposed to eat beetroot and fucking onion cloves.
I don't know who's
from to keep your poop going regular.
Well, once again, we're not talking about the roots. Yes. We're talking about the best part of the plant.
Yes, the best part of the plant is the price. I'm fixing to save you some money. They use only the best parts, and they are formulated to help relieve the discomfort, the stress, the sleeplessness, the sleepless nights, laying awake, tossing and turning. And all of the products from our friends at Cornbread Hemp, based right here in Louisville, Kentucky, are third-party lab tested. They will not go to a lab unless they've been to at least 3 parties in that place, so they can see what their pharmaceuticals are like. Boy, howdy, you ought to go to one of these things. The fucking black light and the disco ball.
Not that kind of party.
Holy shit.
No, this is, of course, an outside party that
because several of them ended up outside in the yard, in the parking lot.
We're talking about the best part of the plant, and we're talking about the best deal for the listeners, and let's plant that in the ground and go that way.
Yes. Well, they're USDA organic, or USDA organic. To ensure safety.
It's not or.
It has to be one or the other. To ensure safety and purity. And, if you take one of these, it'll automatically turn you back into a virgin.
No, that will not happen.
Right now, no. I'm telling you what, boy, howdy.
You're not.
Yeah, well, no, I'm telling you that right now you can save money. You can save money because all you got to do is go to Cornbread, that's CORNBREAD, cornbreadhemp.com/JCE, and you're going to save 30% off your first order. 30% off your first order of these fine, pure, potent, and good for you CBD gummies at cornbreadhemp.com/JCE. 30% off just like that because we put the word in for you.
That's right, a great product. Very popular here at Last Manor. I know there's some big fans over there at Castle Cornette. Cornbread hemp, a great deal. One last time, Jim, that promo code.
Well, it's JCE. I mean, at this point, Brian, we've been doing this for so many years. Don't you think you'd remember it?
You may try to mess me up and say ECJ.
Well, I'm not easy. I don't know about you.
Well, you could mess me up. But once again,
you know, JEC almost sounds like that. Almost sounds right.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't be messed up. Don't be almost right. Be right. I don't know how any of this ties together.
Be messed up the right way.
Cornbread hemp.
Yes, and the don't eat the roots.